Hey Bloom students, this is Mr. Huizenga. I'm going to show you guys today how to work with your interactive chemistry notebook. Okay, so at this point, go to Google Classroom, pull up your chemistry course, and you should see an assignment that says Interactive Chemistry Digital Notebook. And go ahead and open that up. You should have your own copy. Okay, so this is your personal copy. Your teacher will also have kind of a copy that is the master copy. We'll be copying new slides in and out of it. We're going to show you guys how to do that and kind of just how to navigate through the Chem Notebook. Okay, so later this week, we will be adding an additional slide, which you guys will design as your cover. But right now, this is our first cover page, which is just Pre-AP Chemistry, Unit 1. Okay, so this is going to go over structure and properties of matter. Okay, first thing I'd like you guys to do is once you open this up, is get rid of the your name here and place your name down there. Okay. That's step one. On every single page of this, we kind of have tabs to kind of keep you guys in line. Okay, so if you click through here, bloop, it's going to bounce you through a whole bunch of stuff on here. So if we go to Properties of Matters, it's going to take you all the way down to slide 7. Okay, and guys, do me a favor and take a look and tell me what is under. So if you were to go to slide 8, what's our first 1.1a? What do they have listed here for essential knowledge? All right, I want to show you guys how to insert a slide. Okay, so right now, periodic table, there's not a periodic table on here. And so if you go back to here, I've also shared with you guys just a blank slide by itself that's periodic table. So this will happen periodically throughout the semester, where we'll share something with you guys that needs to go into your interactive notebook. Okay, so there's lots of different ways you can copy and paste. If I were to click on just this, realize this is just an image that I have on this slide. So a lot of the times we actually want you guys to copy an entire slide down. Okay, so that's kind of important. So once you get to here, click over here, click on copy. At that point, you're copying this entire slide. Okay, so I want you guys to take this periodic table slide, go back to your presentation, and we're going to make this slide 4, which is going to shift everything over 1. So we're going to go to Insert, New Slide. And actually, so there's one way. If you do that, it's going to insert a blank slide. Let's actually undo that. Let's actually right-click in here and just do Paste. And now here's the previous slide. Okay, and you have some options in here. We can match the style in the presentation, or we can keep the original style. I like all the tabs here, so I'm going to match the style in this presentation. Okay, so once we get a whole bunch of different stuff in here, as you were working, if we were very far along in our unit, okay, if we had something that needed to be placed into here, okay, we could always run back. If we had to reference periodic table, click right there and click on slide 3. All right, now that we have the periodic table embedded, let's show you guys a few other things. Okay, so if we click down onto here, slide 6, it's going to bring us right to safety. And so all of these are our cover sheets. Properties of matter, measurement, density. And once we get a lot more stuff into here, this will help you kind of speed things up. If we ever need to go back to periodic table and reference an element, we'll scroll down to what we just inserted, and you have all of this information in here. Okay, let's go one more slide. So let's go over to slide 5. And this right now is the dynamic periodic table. All right, so we will be using this a lot this semester, and the dynamic periodic table has tons of information that's built into here. If you were to click on any of these elements, so if you were to click on nitrogen, it's going to pop up the Wikipedia article. Okay, so guys, go ahead, take a look through here and answer the next question I'm about to ask you in Edpuzzle. All right, so out of there, there's lots of stuff that you can tell just from looking at this. So all of these have this orangish color. These would be your alkali metals. Okay, everything right here is your transition metals. Bright green, these are your reactive nonmetals, which nitrogen falls into. Okay, we can go to orbitals, and we'll get into these, but this is where our electrons are going to be. We'll move into isotopes. We'll be doing a whole bunch of different stuff there. Compounds. But let's quickly just look at properties. Okay, so right now on here, these are telling you your states of matter, which we're going to be getting into this week, at different temperatures. Okay, so these are set to K, which is Kelvin. Okay, so right now everything that is in black is a solid. We have our two liquids, which are bromine and mercury, and then we have the red, which would be gases. Okay, and this is when your temperature is set to 273 degrees Kelvin, and then we can move that around on the scale. So if you're all the way over here, all of a sudden everything is a gas. If we go down to 0 degrees Kelvin, all of a sudden everything is a solid with the exception of, okay? But there's tons of other stuff on here. So we can take a look at just the melting point. So if we do this, all of a sudden this bottom number here, nickel has a melting point of 1,728 degrees. Nitrogen has a melting point of 63 degrees, okay? We also have electronegativity, which we'll explain, our number of valence electrons, our ionization number, this is kilojoules per mole. We talk about the radius as far as how long they are, or large. So this is going to be in picometers because we're working with very small numbers, okay? But right here, so yeah, if you click over to radius and we're looking at selenium, we have 103 picometers since I've selected that, okay? And that is our dynamic periodic table. All right, next thing on here, so the next hyperlink we have is actually this calculator, okay? So if you click over to, this is the Desmos calculator. So if you do not have a calculator, this is what we'll be using this year, okay? Showed it to you guys on fractions, which we don't really use in chemistry too much, but yeah, we'll take you guys through all of this and what we'll be using in our calculator. So that's where you're going to get to that. That's going to be listed right underneath with your periodic table. If you'd like to, you could change even that title of this. So we could say right on here, periodic table and calculator. You guys a little bit organized. Okay. Safety. All right, we have our Flynn safety sheet. We're not doing a lot with safety at the moment. You guys are at home. This will be a little bit more difficult, but we do have a copy in Spanish. Just click the link. We also have a copy in English. Okay, so if we go over to there, okay, here are all the safety rules that we wish you guys that we're going to abide by. Okay, so for example, just take a look and let me know what number 13 is by clicking over to that link. All right, our first unit is properties of matter. Okay, so once again, once we get a lot of tabs into here, you guys can just bounce around, and this will be on slide 8. Okay, it might not be there later once we insert a few more slides in and out of here. First thing you're going to see on here is we're always going to post our learning objectives, and we're also going to post our essential knowledge. Whenever we have text like this, so when you guys see these yellow boxes, that's where we want you guys answering some questions. And we'll talk you guys through that. So we'll always let you know in class when we're filling these out. But this is where you're going to place answers to these two questions. So how are solids, liquids, and gases different? Do solids, liquids, and gases have anything in common? Please explain. We'll be filling this in a little bit later this week. We'll also have places that are called card sorts. Okay, so what card sorts are going to be is we'll try to keep the titles the same kind of color. So like right here, we have liquid, we have gas, okay? And right now these things are kind of all over the place, but we're gonna have you guys make these the titles. So drag them around. This will be a little bit later. And then we'll kind of put these underneath each of these. So if you thought this image applied to solids or liquids, you'd place it over here. Take this one, wherever you think they go. Okay, this will be card sorts though. So card sorts will have all these boxes where we have lots of information filled in for you guys, and you'll kind of have to just drag it around. All right. So as we move on, measurement, here's our learning objectives and our essential knowledge. Density, you guys will have some blank pages like this, and we'll have you guys copy images in. Sometimes you'll have to insert and place a text box. Right now my computer's going a little slow. But we'll kind of talk you through what we want you guys to do on each of these pages. Okay, so that's how you insert a text box, and you can just type right into the box. All right, let me delete that at the moment. But that's how you guys are going to add some stuff into here. Now, the other thing we might want to add into here is images. Okay, so 2 ways we can do this: insert, image, and first thing I'm going to show you guys is search from the web. So if this is measurement, we could go over here and let's just type in. So we're talking about measurement. Let's type in graduated cylinder. And right away, there's all sorts of different images that you could then choose and place into here. So this is coming right from the internet. Okay. The other thing that's you can do is if you type in the beginning of here, you type in transparent. It'll then place in images where the white won't show up. So you can see how there's not white all around here. Okay. So that works for just about anything. Okay. Not everything, but if you type in transparent before something, then you can see all the lines or whatever you have in behind here as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So you guys go ahead, place a image into your measurement sheet, any measurement tool. So that can be a ruler, graduated cylinder, something of that nature. All right, the second thing that'll be kind of important is uploading things. So from there, if you go to insert, you go to image, upload from your computer, okay? And I'll just pull up my pictures. You will have to have this saved somewhere on the device that you're using, okay? Another way you could do this is you could insert it from, like, say, your Gmail. So if you're working on your phone, okay? And here, let's go. Images, Test Bank Science. And we got in chapter 15. But here are images that I have saved onto my computer. And this is one that has to do with water quality testing, but right there, that's the second way, okay, if you're uploading it from there. If you're working off of your phone, yeah, you could just email yourself pictures. From most phones, you can actually upload pictures right into your drive. So I highly recommend you download Google Drive onto your phone, because that would also be very helpful as well, okay? There are going to be times where you guys are going to do handwritten notes, because people actually retain information a lot better if they handwrite it than if they actually type it. And then we'd actually have you just post a copy of your notes that you handwritten right into here. And then you would just insert that. You could also do it right from your email if you emailed yourself that picture. All right, and that is your Chemistry Interactive Notebook, okay? Once you're done with your Edpuzzle, hop back into Google Classroom Chat and make sure you guys are all set for the day. Thanks for watching.